Hey guys, welcome back to Financial Story Hour, where we dive into relatable financial stories to empower you to change your own. Now, over the last couple of videos, we've been touching on different aspects of cash flow: income, spending, savings, and now we're going to take a look at debt. Of course, there's a lot to be said about debt. I mean, some people think it's great. See any Instagram reel about leveraging yourself into an empire of rental properties. But a lot of people think it's bad, and it doesn't help that a lot of financial pundits uh, emphasize getting out of debt as kind of the crown jewel of financial success. And a lot of people deal with a lot of shame surrounding their debt. Rather than calling debt good or bad, let's stick with something that removes the moral significance that I hope we can all agree on. Debt is dangerous. And with that in mind, let's take a look at Sarah's story.
It started right after graduation. Getting my teaching degree felt amazing, and I already had a job lined up. But almost immediately, the debt payments started. 4 years earlier, my parents convinced me to go to the same Christian private school they did, and I vaguely remember sitting with them as we all signed for the student loans. My car died 2 months before graduation, and I needed something to get me to my new job, so I financed that. My apartment needed a bed and a couch. The credit card I diligently paid off during school racked up a balance while I waited for my first paychecks to come through. It's been 4 years. Now every paycheck just goes straight to debt, which means the current month goes back on the cards until payday. It's like a cycle I can't get out of, and I'm still paying for the same saggy couch.
Wow. Well, I want to be clear about this. This channel is about helping you, not judging you. And one of the reasons I'm a coach is because I can get in there with you and come up with a personalized strategy and plan, but also help you develop your own philosophies over what you believe around debt, savings, retirement, all those things. That's part of the reason why I like the coaching dynamic. And so in this video, we're not going to bash Sarah for not having more forethought as an 18-year-old. And in fact, if she was dealing with a lot of shame around this, the first thing I would be doing was reminding her of all the good things that school debt in particular has given her over the years. And reminding her that it wasn't all bad. Now, mathematically, was it the wisest choice to get a teaching degree from a private school? Maybe not. But both can be true. Now, coming back to debt, I want to emphasize that it is such a broad topic that we're not going to cover every aspect of debt that I want to eventually cover in this video. In this video, we're specifically talking about cash flow. And so let's take things back to the top. Remember, this is an equation that takes a little bit of legwork to figure out. Your income sits on top, and then below that, we subtract the things that we've been talking about. Your spending, your savings buckets, and now also your debt. This gets you your monthly burn, and you're able to see how much comes in every month and how much goes out. Why am I starting here? Well, have you ever seen a financial show on YouTube or podcast where a caller calls in and the host is just like, well, you need to stop using credit cards. And the person looks totally lost because, sure, sometimes it's because they don't know what to do without the rewards and chasing the points. But other times I can tell they legitimately don't see how they can operate on a month-to-month basis without their credit card. That's why knowing these numbers is so important. Because if you can lay them out, you can actually see with real numbers if you can live on less than you make and live out of your bank account instead of the credit card. But what if it doesn't add up? What if you lay out all of your fixed expenses, including minimum debt payments, and you figure out how much you spend on groceries and other expenses like that throughout the month, and you take that total number and you set up automatic payments to a separate account like we've talked about, and you set up automatic transfers for savings buckets to handle future expenses that might come up unexpectedly. After you've done all those things, what if you do the equation and the number is negative? Well, remember what I've said before, knowledge is power. Now we can start pulling some of the levers, some of which we've already talked about. Can you increase your income by getting a side hustle? Can you reduce your expenses by either getting rid of some things like subscriptions, or calling companies and actually reducing your bill, your phone bill, your electricity? Can you actually start to negotiate some of those down? Or can you cut back on some of your spending, on your groceries, cutting down on some of your entertainment? Now, I'm not here to tell you that these things are fun. I mean, I can just hear somebody telling me, oh yeah, man, all you got to do is cut out sugar and you'll be good. A lot easier said than done, right? I know it's tough. That's why I want to be there for you, especially if you tried and failed multiple times to get your finances under control. I want to be there to walk you through the process, to encourage you and help you. And if it's not me, I hope you get someone in your corner to walk with you, to be there for you as you try to work these things out, because it's not a one and done process. Sometimes it takes trial and error. Sometimes it takes finding what works for you and finding what you can believe in. But you can do this. So let's look at some things that Sarah could do practically, specifically about her debt, like consolidation, for instance. Now, remember what we said at the beginning, debt is dangerous. And so what we see a lot is that if somebody hasn't actually addressed the underlying issues and the belief of I have to have credit or I have to use credit to get through the month, if somebody hasn't addressed that belief and they get a consolidation loan, for instance, they're able to tidy all those credit cards up into one lump payment, and they've at the same time freed up those other credit cards, then you can see how consolidation isn't a magic bullet in those situations. They can actually make things a lot worse. So we do want to take the time and address those core issues before we can even start looking at things like that. Otherwise, you're probably better off just chipping out and dealing with the interest rates you have and dealing with them one at a time in a debt snowball situation. But what if Sarah has got her cards under control? They're now just sitting there in the background. They're just another debt that she is paying off. She's not actively using those. Well, then something like consolidation might actually give her the breathing room and the margin to start making real progress on those debts. And speaking of paying off debt, do you even know if that's where you are in your financial journey? In a future video coming up soon, I'm going to review a couple of different schools of thought about financial orders of priority. And of course, the two main ones being the Ramsey baby steps versus the Money Guy's financial order of operations. Now, you're going to see that there's a lot of overlap, but there are a few minor differences, and I think it'll be fun to pick them apart. The important thing is discovering what philosophy works best for you so that you can know what to do with your next dollar. Well, I hope this series on cash flow has been helpful. I hope that you're able to take a clearer view of your financial picture. And of course, if you need help, if you want somebody else to take a look, if you just want to share your story, I would love to hear it. You can follow the link in the description for a Q&A call to see if I can help you with one-on-one coaching. You can reach out via the messages, and I will do my best to encourage you and help you. And that's what we do here on this channel. I'm here to help, I'm here to teach and encourage you that you can change your financial story. Please like, subscribe, share this video, especially if you know somebody who needs to take a look at this, somebody who really feels a lot of shame and guilt about debt that they have. Let them know that there's another way. Let them know that they don't have to just live in shame. At my coaching business, New Story Financial Coaching, my goal is to help you Develop a system that allows you to put your finances on autopilot in the background so that you can live a life of purpose and impact. So with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.